TIFU by spending £20 on a menstrual cup that put me in hospital over the new year. Happened over the last 2 days. I'm a transgender man. And on New Year's Eve I get my period while I'm at work. I bop down to the pharmacy on my morning break to get tampons. When I see a small section for menstrual cups, which were £20 each. What the hell, I thought. New year. I should be more eco-friendly. Let's invest. Putting it in was sore but not too bad. And honestly it's much more comfortable than a tampon. I'm kind of liking it at this point. So I leave it in until I leave my shift and get home. It's New Year's Eve and I have plans involving curry and whiskey. But I decide I should empty my cup, since I might struggle to do it after whiskey. And that's where the issues started. 3 hours of squatting, hitching my leg up, trying the spoon method, waggling it around, and having my fingers pretty much covered in blood. I come to the conclusion that it's too high up and I can't break the seal to remove it. God's fucking damn it. I tragically live on my own without a nice boyfriend to fish it out. So I opt to wait until tomorrow and go to the next best location, A&E. I end up not drinking my whiskey, and instead slept through the new year and tried not to panic. New Year's Day, I catch a taxi to the local A&E, and get checked in around 7 a.m. It's now about 24 hours since I put the cup in. But after a few hours I speak to triage and they reassure me they're going to do their best to get it out for me. Problem is, I have had severe vaginismus, vaginal muscle spasms, since I was a teen. And I've never been able to have anything bigger than my tiny fingers inside me. You can guess how this goes. Attempt number 1, the emergency doc and the senior emergency doc. Both very nice. Try and use a speculum to retrieve it. I try and bear it as much as I can. But in the end I cannot stand the pain. Cup is not removed. Attempt number 2, they call the gyno down from upstairs, who was very lovely, and he tries to reach it with his fingers. He can't even get 2 inches into me without me being in pain. Cup is not removed. Attempt number 3, I'm given gas and air, and the gyno tries again to reach the cup. It feels like I'm being torn in two, and I end up sobbing all over the chaperone and the gyno. Cup is not removed. The gyno speaks with the senior gyno at this point, and gives me 2 options, sedation or general anesthetic. I've had top surgery under general anesthetic, so I opt for that. Attempt 4 #, they put me under general anesthetic and wheeled me into theater so that the gyno can get this fucking thing out of me. I go to sleep and wake up an hour later to the knowledge that the cup is finally removed. 14 hours after I first entered A&E. I spent the rest of New Year's Day on the ward, stayed overnight for observation, and left this afternoon. I'm 20 pounds down. My New Year's whiskey languishes in my fridge. And I'm still on my period. I'm never putting anything up there again. Adenum. One of the docs in surgery asked if I wanted to keep the cup and the answer was a very firm, no. Please burn it. TLDR. Spent 20 pounds on a menstrual cup to be eco-friendly. Ended up spending 12 hours in A&E and had to be anesthetized to have it removed. Spent New Year's Day sans whiskey in a hospital ward. That may be the worst period story I've heard all year. Here's to a better 2022. I'm 20 pounds down. Welp. Don't need the pound symbol to know that this overnight hospital stay and minor surgery is not in the us. Menstrual cups scare the hell out of me for this reason. I have weak hands from muscular dystrophy and this is my personal nightmare. So glad they got it out of you. Man. Happy 2022. I'm very sorry for the ordeal. Pain. embarrassment, inconvenience, and horror. You deserve a holiday after this. Don't feel bad about being out $20. If you were in the States, it would cost about $5,000 plus the $20 you lost. Look on the bright side. If you were in the United States, you'd be $20,000 down. Damn bro. Glad you're better now. Dang. I have vaginismus too, and my first few periods with the cup were rough. I eventually figured it out after turning my bathroom into a murder scene multiple times lol. Sometimes it does come down on its own after it fills up more. But maybe the stress of the scary situation made everything tense up. Glad it worked out op. That's a hell of a story. Dude. This is almost a horror story. I am so sorry this happened to you. I think you should call into whatever job you work and polish off that whiskey when you get home. Unfortunately, it will have to be with more traditional menstrual hygiene products. Y'all know our own bodies best, but let me say, I'm a cis woman with no issues with vaginal pain, and using a cup has been honestly life-changing in a good way. If you don't struggle with vaginismus, don't let this freak you out bad enough to not try it. They don't carry as much of a risk of toxic shock syndrome as tampons do, and most people find them comfortable after using them for a couple cycles. Totally your choice, of course. But it has been a great change for me. Things can only go up from here. Tampons have strings at the end for ease of removal. Why don't menstrual cups have them? Brew, I thought my period was bad. I caught vaginismus just reading this. Sorry for your troubles, dude. Here's some silver smiley face. I'm genuinely so afraid of this, and that's why I will never try it. Tears of joy. After all that time in the hospital. And this man is still only 20 quid in the hole out of pocket. British healthcare must be nice. I'm curious because even though I'm a woman, I don't know. If you can't get anything inside you besides a finger, how did you insert it in the first place? I don't use a menstrual cup because insertion and removal was a pita, despite people acting like it's super easy. I have zero problems inserting things, and I had trouble. How did you do it? I love the cups. But I always recommend the period pants for anyone with vaginismus. Vaginal issues are just a desire to not have to use their fingers to wrangle out a too high cup. Occasionally, they sell the pants in Boots these days. My FTM friends like the boy short ones. You can't tell what they are just by looking. P.S. My go-to for getting a cup out is always to try immediately after having a poo. And if that fails, immediately after a wank. I'm really glad you got yours out eventually. It sounds like the vaginismus really complicated things well beyond the help of those two suggestions. I've heard various horror stories about cups. I use a disc, which doesn't rely on suction, and it's therefore a lot easier to deal with. You can even get a brand with a little tail thing on. Think tampon string. To help remove it. Has 100% changed my experience with periods. This is a horror story.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.